Hello everybody, my name is Lacy Johnson and this is MCC Today, a show about your community college, my community college, our community college.
My name is Dusty Culpepper and we are hosting the very last iteration of MCC Today. Lacy and I hosted 20 years ago and it is so neat to be back in the seat.
It certainly is. We got a great show coming up.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Lacy Johnson and Dusty Culpepper. This is our last show, and as our last show, I wanted to get previous hosts on the show so that they could upstage me and make me look really bad.
Well, you really reached back in the archives, man. I mean, way back.
But you did the show. Now, Lacy, how long did you do the show?
Oh, 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
20 years, and you
I
were
was here for 2.
okay. Y'all worked together for 2?
Yes, we did. We co-hosted.
When I got here, Jerome Trahan was your partner.
That's
and
right.
Jerome just had taken another job, and Lacy came to me and said, "Hey, let's put that public relations degree to use." And so we hosted. I guess it was like a year and a half because I think Jerome's here was about 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was great. I enjoyed it. Loved it.
Yes, it
Now
was
let me
fun.
okay, because people theoretically love the idea of the show and love the idea of being on the show, but then to actually get them on the show. Did y'all have the
No, a lot of
issues
people
that
didn't
we're
want
having?
to. A lot of because they're embarrassed. They think the camera's going to show them, you know, in an odd way or
Right.
whatever. So there was always people. Oh, I don't know if I can do this.
How did you handle that? I just say get on the show.
I don't know. I just talked to
I
him.
would say Dr. Skaggs told me that you had to be here on the show.
So there you go.
Now that's a truth.
There you
That
go.
is a truth right there.
You know.
And that's basically what we do now. Is like they were required to be on the show periodically during
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah.
And that's how we've handled it. And every
Yeah.
time they will say, "I'm glad I did it. It was great. I don't want to do it again."
That's right. Now, keep in mind, I taught the broadcasting program here too
Right.
at that time. So that's when my students were the ones that are back behind the camera now and back in the studio then
That's right.
too.
Okay.
So
That's right.
it was
Yeah, 'cause
quite
how long
a
did you teach the broadcasting? Was it?
a while.
You taught
Don't
because
ask
you
me.
moved from there to teaching speech. You moved
Yes,
from
I
there
went.
to-
I left broadcasting, went to teaching speech. Yes.
Did you come here to teach that program, broadcasting?
That's what Dr. Skaggs brought me
Okay.
into
Oh,
that one.
all right.
Yeah, he
'cause
did.
when
he
I
sure
first
did.
started here, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, that's right.
And you started
Yeah.
as a recruiter?
I did.
No, okay.
That was my
okay.
first job out of college. I was the recruiter here at MCC. So I recruited students from the local high schools to come here, and it made for a perfect segue to
It did.
host this because
Sure.
I mean you kind of knew what was going on with campus, and you wanted your face out there as much as you could to represent the school to have people associate you with MCC if they were interested in coming.
Never once have they mentioned anything about me having a co-host.
Well, because you're so.
Just saying.
you
Well,
know,
yeah, you towed it
you
by
have-
yourself.
you-
That's what it is.
You can
and that
carry
was
it
great.
yourself.
Thank you so much for
We
that.
have to say something about Dusty. He was on the team that went to Granby, Colorado.
Grand
right?
Junction.
Grand Junction,
Sure
not
did.
Granby.
Yeah.
Junction.
I tell people all the time, 4 of the greatest years of my life were at Vernon Community College. 2 as a student and then 2 as an employee. I thoroughly enjoyed playing for Coach Palmer and Scott Berry, who the Berries, we're
Oh,
much.
yeah, love the Berries.
Love the Berries. As a
Yes.
matter of fact, if you want to really break it down, I met my wife in Laura Berry's speech class.
You sure did. I
Yeah,
know
8
that.
o'clock,
Yes.
8 o'clock speech class. And so I've got a lot of MCC ties here. My daughter is going to graduate in December.
That's wonderful.
So yeah,
She
she's
enjoying it here?
Had a wonderful experience here.
Good.
Played
Wasn't
soccer.
she playing soccer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
played soccer for Coach Mike and had a great time here. Going to transfer, looks like, to Mississippi State and be a teacher.
Oh, that's
Excellent.
wonderful.
Excellent.
That is
Sure is.
wonderful.
Excellent. Now, when y'all were hosting the show, when you were in charge, did any interviews kind of just stand out to you? Anything happen that just, that you can talk about? That
That's
just,
a lot of years.
it was a lot of years, so you have a lot of things that you can sift through.
Well, I guess I'll share what I just shared to you. What the heck? It's the last one.
Sure.
And I can't cancel it here. No, I remember interviewing Ann Dowdle, and again,
She was in
Ann
charge of arts and letters.
That's
at
right.
that
She was
time.
over arts and letters at the time, and I wanted to kind of bring it in the show. Ann, how are you doing? Tell us some things going on personally. And about 2 words in, she said, "Hey, stop. We don't have time for that. Let's get to let's get to the business at hand." And so I was like, "Yes, ma'am. That was a great broadcasting lesson learned early."
Isn't that
And
the
so, but Ann just did a fantastic job, and
But she was particular.
she was, and she
was
pretty well
very-
got things the way she wanted, including that interview.
Exactly. Exactly. I can
I'm-
remember people saying, "Can you start over? Can you start over? Can you start over?" And I'm going, "No, this is live. We're just going to keep on going. It's all right."
We're good.
Because it's never as
Yeah.
bad as most people think it is.
No, it's never as bad. I do remember one of my favorite people to, Adrian, I'm sorry, I forgot your new last name. It was Adrian Cross then when she was working here. She was
Right.
the funnest person to
She
interview because it was just like all we did was laugh.
Yes.
And I know you've done
Yes.
that too, where
Yes.
you're going, we got to quit laughing because, but that's what happens when you're a host and you've got someone that you like talking
That's
to,
right.
right?
You know, I was surprised at how many people actually watched it from week to week. But you know, it was on the cable channel.
Yep,
at
it
the,
sure
at
was.
the time, and it wasn't the MCC channel at the time. It was just kind of the local channel 11 or something like that. But I had a fair amount of people that.
Yes, I had a woman in my church. He said, "I saw you on TV. You don't look good on TV."
Do you like
And you don't
watching
either.
yourself on TV?
I never saw a
Did-
show.
You never watched the
I
show?
never
did
saw
you?
a show, ever.
Yeah, I did. But I grew up on television. Our church that I grew up in was on television back in the 80s, the Evangel Temple. My grandfather was the pastor, and my dad was minister of music. So I grew up in front of the camera. So, you know, I just kind of became.
Didn't bother
something
me
you-
either.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Give me a microphone. Fine. I'll
Give
talk.
me a microphone, and I do kind of. It's like a switch is flipped a little bit, but aside, I don't like watching myself on TV. I don't like seeing that. I will watch them, but I don't.
And it's so strange because I promise I have never sat down and watched an MCC Today show, and I did it for 20 years.
Have you ever had? Because
weird.
I've done this a couple of times now, where you just get into like a coughing fit or something that you can't, you know, and like you try to suppress it, and it just gets worse.
Well, thanks for suggesting that
I
because
know,
that
I
may
can
happen
See,
in
I
a
can
know
have
you-
moment.
one right
yes,
now.
Right now. That's,
Now that he said it. Yeah. That's life,
Yeah.
isn't it? I mean, we're human beings, and things like that happen, and we just have to deal with it.
anything where props didn't work like they should?
No. We didn't have this fancy set.
I was about to say your set was a little.
We had a lot of blocks, and we
yes.
had a
Did you have a
lot.
sofa? Was there a sofa? No.
And there was there was like 2 chairs at
Two
one
chairs,
time.
okay, yeah.
And you and I stood up.
Yeah, we did the
With a
opening
background.
on a standing. I
I remember that too. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. And the people that worked behind that, of course, they were students, and it was just so much fun. It really
Always.
was.
I always
MCC
have
is
such
a
a blast with the
great
students.
memory for me.
In fact, I think our shows are, and I don't mean this in any negative against the executive producers, but when we were doing the shows during the summer and it was just them, you know, behind the cameras, I didn't have nearly as much fun as when the students are here and I'm laughing or, you know, telling jokes I shouldn't be telling or, you know, seeing what's going to be cut from what I said, which is a lot, by the way. I thoroughly enjoy when the students are here.
Oh, I did too. And of course, they were my students at that time too, for a long time before I went over to the academic side of the campus. And it was just, there was so much fun. And I am still in contact with several of those people.
You know who
and
was-
it's such a joy.
You know, it was one of your. Freddie Carmichael was one of your students.
Oh, absolutely.
The 2 years that I was here.
Yeah, Freddie
and,
was.
And you know, and Freddie has done so well. Editor of the Reading Star before he went to Atlanta and
That's true.
risen in the ranks in Mississippi Power. Or, well, not Mississippi
Cedric
Power.
Dubose was one of my students,
Yeah,
and
that's
the
exactly-
cake man here in
That's
Meridian, and he's
right, yeah.
amazing.
That's right.
Just an amazing man.
Molding young minds, you did.
I don't know about that.
Now you've been retired now for a year.
December's a year.
How's retirement going? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am.
Was it what you thought it was going to be?
I think it's better in some ways. I do miss the students. I love them so, so much. But
And the people?
and the people, of course. I've worked with wonderful human beings here. MCC's just got some precious human beings that
Yes,
work
it
here,
does. Yes, it
and it was so wonderful. I am more relaxed than I have been in a long time, I have to say, because I don't have to worry about deadlines as much. I know, I'm old, but it's been nice. It really has been nice. I miss the people, and I miss the students, but
Okay.
I'm enjoying it immensely.
And Dusty, what are you up to now?
So I'm currently working for Community Bank here in Meridian.
Okay.
Actually, at this moment in time, I'm actually on some military orders. And through
You
the
did
end of the
walk
year.
in.
I did walk in with an Air Force uniform on. And so,
And we're like, no, wear that.
No. I've been doing that work. You know, when I left here, I went to Anderson Hospital and worked for Anderson for 18 years.
Right.
Loved my time there, and then got into the veteran community and military, and served in the Air National Guard now for almost 12 years. And so that's something I'm very, very proud of.
Should be.
And so yeah, and got 4 kids that, like I said, Mary Ashley's here. I've got one at Southern Miss, and I've got one in high school and one in first grade. Lacy.
What a joy.
What
a joy. Seriously.
What a joy. The thing is, you know, and I've said this to Lacy many times, but the people you meet here at MCC, and what you were saying before, we have such a great group of people. And it really is. I say this to my guests all the time because I'm like, this is one of my favorite people in the world, and it's true. There are so many people I absolutely adore that work here or that used to work here, and I see them, and it's, you know, and we play catch up, and it's like you've never really been away from each other.
That's right.
And there's so many people like that here. It really is a family.
Yeah.
And you start
Yeah.
out with, you know, different jobs like student recruiter, and end up, or broadcasting, and end up doing other things, or staying in the same position for however many years, and it's still, you know, you've got these great people.
I was sharing just last night with somebody about the campus life here at Meridian Community College has just exploded. I mean, years ago, whenever I was here in 1996 and 7, you know, it was pretty. We had the athletes would stay on campus, but pretty much it was kind of a come and go. You know, you came, you did your time, and you went back home. But my daughter is here like 5 nights a week. I mean, here doing things on campus. So it's so good to see the direction that Dr. Huebner has MCC going, and so much vibrance here on
Yeah, the
campus.
truth.
You can feel
My
it.
niece, who lives in Alabama, is being recruited for the volleyball team here. I think she came and visited yesterday. I hope
that's
she loved
awesome.
it.
Good.
She's because they're having a first volleyball team here.
Yeah, that's right,
We are.
for sure.
They
Swimming team,
started
volleyball
it.
team,
And she's a
lot of
great
stuff
little
going on.
volleyball player and a precious human being. So
Good.
I hope that we got her here at MCC.
Well, listen, I want to thank both of y'all for being on the last show with me. I appreciate it greatly, and let's keep it interesting.
We're turning the tables, rewriting the rules, letting the world know that success is not reserved for the privileged few. Every dreamer, every believer, every fighter has a chance to rise above. Together, we will find your path and change your future. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, at Meridian Community College, you are worth it. Now is your time. Find your wings.
And we are back, and we have the wonderful Dr. Huebner. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. I'm doing well. What a great intro.
Thanks.
The
And
wonderful.
Lacy Johnson has agreed to stay
truly
on,
wonderful.
and we are going to bombard you with lots of questions. I haven't thought of any, but
Do you
we're
like
going
cats?
I'm not,
I was
you know.
going to say because I have a cat that's
Well,
I don't
really
like
interesting.
cats.
well, I saw a bumper sticker once that said, I know, it just said, I like cats. They taste a lot like chicken.
Oh my goodness, okay.
I know. So
Yeah, it was okay.
So when you said it, that was the first thing. Was
Okay,
a
well,
bumper
we're not
sticker
going
that-
there.
This
I'm sure you
reminds me of
caught
high
that.
school.
Sorry. But I do like cats otherwise, so thank you.
How is everything going, Dr. Huebner?
That probably wasn't the intro we needed.
No,
No,
but it's
We
okay.
can always edit.
That's right.
How is everything going?
Things are going well. We are into November of the semester. I mean, just like that.
Yes.
And so that means that we're going to be on break, Thanksgiving break next week, back for a couple of weeks, and we're hitting our stride for finals. And then we'll be in the Merrymester, and then, believe it or not, we're starting 2024
That
pretty
is-
quick.
Didn't that
Yes.
happen too fast?
Oh, it really is
Oh my
unbelievable.
gosh, it did, and it happened too fast. And we have now, students are starting I always say at the panic mode. Where
Right.
you get toward the end of the semester and you're like,
Right.
oh no, I got, oh.
Let me
have
turn that
grades.
in now. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to someone yesterday, they were like, came by and they said, can I finish? And I've got 4 more assignments to do and blah, 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 blah. And I looked at them and I was like, class ended last week. I'm sorry.
Oh, I remember.
I want to say something.
Okay.
When I got on campus this morning, I said to myself, my word, it looks fantastic. The art and it just is
They've done such a
beautiful.
great
The
job.
campus is gorgeous.
Well, I appreciate you
Serious.
sharing that. I really do. We're trying to work hard to impact the campus in that way. We have we got a lot of way, long way to go before we're where we want to be. But I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, because when
Yeah.
I first came here, when Dr. Skaggs was here, and he's the one that hired me, it was a different campus completely. And I mean, I've been through construction, I've been through all sorts of new stuff, and some
Yeah.
things that were beautiful, and then but now it's just, I walk and I'm going, whoa.
Well,
There are so many great things
I
on
appreciate
campus.
it.
And
Yeah,
yes.
it's been a deliberate focus on my part to move us that direction. But and there are a lot of reasons for it. I think our students deserve what they would get anywhere. In other words, if they're going to get something like that at some other 4-year institution, well, they deserve that here
not
too.
here? Yeah.
So and so it's just been an effort to try to take the resources we have and have already had, and to focus them a little bit differently to try to improve the spaces we have. And
make them so much more than just functional or utilitarian.
yeah.
Make them really nice looking, like the Success Center.
Well,
have you been to the Success Center?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you didn't say anything, and so I just kind of was
Wait a minute,
wondering.
that is upstairs.
Right, that's
Okay,
right.
yes, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Well, it really is, but like more than being beautiful, I mean,
Yeah.
the best part about it is when we first had the idea and the conversation about kind of merging some things, in my mind, it was going to bring, a mass of people together in certain ways, and it really has exceeded my expectations. So when I walk in the facility upstairs, there are people everywhere, and I like that because that means opportunities for collaboration and exposure to the various resources. The vision for that was always, what are the resources students need, the support students need to be successful? And the best part of it is we're not stopping with just the upstairs.
Right.
So I think it was this week we accepted bids for work downstairs, which will our food pantry is going to get a major facelift because of a donor who wants to invest in our students in that way.
Oh, that's
with a
wonderful.
substantial gift, part of which will be an endowment to provide the resources for that particular facility.
Oh, wow.
So that's a big deal. And of course, the Phil Hardin Honors College and the investment Phil Hardin Foundation has made in this college is going to transform the back of this building outside and inside, so that when you walk out the building, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have hardscaping and landscaping.
Wow.
So that you can have places to sit and structures. I don't know if the official word is pergola, but it's going to have structures that come from the building that match the architectural style. And then, of course, having the Phil Hardin Honors College suite in the back of this building.
Yeah.
But we're going to transform the hallways, and I mean, none of that is, from a cost perspective, that expensive. But it's transformational to the people who walk in the hallways and who get to see what we're trying to do. So you know, I don't know.
I need to tell you, I think I told you earlier, my niece, so it's my niece's daughter, so she's still my niece, right?
Right.
Okay, so my niece is being recruited here, and when her mother called me and she said, Aunt Lacy, tell me a little bit about Meridian Community College. Will my daughter like it there? Will it be safe there? And I said, she will be treated like a queen when she gets here. She will have tons of things to do.
Yeah.
She will make new friends.
Right.
She will have a great experience. She will have a great experience in the classroom, and they will support her, and they will also take good care of her as an athlete, and just she'll love it here. I was trying to recruit.
Which is wonderful.
I was trying to
And
recruit.
you know, I could say, you know, I have 2 of my children have gone through here, and one of them is currently here. And my daughter, who graduated from here a couple of years ago, absolutely loved her experience. She didn't live on campus. My son, though, does live on
I
campus.
did teach her.
Well, you taught my daughter. So my son does live on campus, and I guess it's a good thing that like we never see him. Like he'll even stay on campus in the dorm in the weekends. Like, who does that? But he's got good friends, and he's got community there, and
exactly
things
right.
to do, and activities, and you know, just a bond that he has now with his teammates and his friends on campus. And there's so many things. I'm even looking at some of the folks in the room here, and I know of their involvement on campus, and I can see them everywhere. When I tell people that it's related to campus. It's not formally, but our Baptist Student Union. I mean, we had like 80 students who come to our regular meetings there.
That's amazing.
Off campus, right next to campus, but still, it's just an indication of what I heard Dusty share about, you know, deliberate efforts to try to create an important campus engaging environment that students
Absolutely.
want to be a part of. And so I'm just got great people to work with.
Do you see anything
people
else?
here.
What else on the horizon do we have coming up that you think is going to even be add more to the student's experience?
Yeah. So, I've got the next 3 years planned out in terms of what we're doing with our facility upgrades and what we're trying to do there. We have a couple of, so when we're adding the athletic programs, it's very deliberately. Our traditional student population at community colleges in America, certainly in Mississippi, certainly in Meridian, the traditional student population is declining. There are not nearly as many.
Right.
And then the opportunities they have are also different than, like, say, even 5 years ago. So we are in a state with a declining population and following the national trend of that particular age group. So one of the things we've done is we've created what is a return on investment analysis, where we know that if we spend $1 here, how will it impact student enrollment, for example. And it's pretty sophisticated, and I'm really proud of what we've developed and continue to refine. So with that said, when we bring something to campus, we are confident that it will have a positive net return to the college in terms of student enrollment. And so we try to watch that carefully. With that said, we added swimming,
Yeah.
we added volleyball,
Yeah.
and we have a couple of other things that are coming on that I'm not ready to announce yet, even though we are in the final stages of preparation.
How about
for that.
bowling?
Bowling is not something that
Not
we have
bowling,
considered.
but the bowling with the broom.
Pickleball.
What is
I'll stop.
you got me there, mate. Perhaps pickleball is very popular. It's not
Yes, it
it's not
is.
an intercollegiate sport yet. I
No,
suspect
but-
it probably will be. So when we convert, when we get our softball and tennis facilities built, people ask me what we're going to do with the old tennis facility, and so I'm aware that it would be really attractive for people to have pickleball courts there, for example. So we'll just
true.
have to see where that goes. We're
They'd
we're
load
trying
up.
to. Yep, they would for sure.
When you first came here and you saw, are we getting to where you want us to be? Have you had a vision of what you wanted MCC?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. So here's how I would partially answer that question. Like MCC was already that when I got here. So it hadn't really been crafting. I mean, like I heard mention in the previous segments. I don't think people understand the special group of people we have who work here, this college. And I could share 1,000 personal examples, observational examples, things that I've seen that I know that illustrate what I just said. And so before I came, I had people say, "You're really going to be blown away by the sense of community at that place." And I was like, "Nah, whatever." You know, like, really? I mean, because you have a perception of what an institution is like based on driving past the street, driving the street past on the whatever, however you say it, driving down the street past the college. And so I had a perception, it looked very dated, and you had this feeling of, and then as I said, when you get beyond the first buildings on the outside and get into the inside of the college, you realize a couple of things. And one of them is, it really is a beautiful campus. Yeah. And the second, but the most important thing you realize is the people are beautiful on the campus. I've never been a place where I've seen folks so absolutely invested in the students who come into their classrooms in a way that is just an attribute of their character, an attribute of their passion, of what they were created to do and be. So
that's wonderful.
I just see it. I mean, you can't, it's like palpable, really.
Yes.
So, and I mean, I could talk about either one of you in this regard and talk about your powerful impact and how I've just seen you invest in people and care about folks and what they're doing and how they're doing. And I mean, it's just, you just can't make that up. No. That's just either you're this or you're that. And so when a person like me comes in and I go, oh, wow. So my goal is I got to try to create opportunities so that you get to do what you do better and don't have to think about me. Does that make sense?
It does.
So like,
it does.
It really is, how do you break down barriers? Like, it's not about trying to control this or control messages or anything. It's really about getting things in place. So I was a professor. Like, I know what I wanted when I was teaching, right? I wanted resources I needed to be able to be as good as I could possibly, to do as much good as I could possibly do. And then I wanted to be left alone. Like, those are kind of the things. In other words, let me be who I am and let me do what I do. And so I've learned through the years that particular mindset has served me well as an administrator.
Good.
So.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for being on our last show. I really appreciate it so much.
Well, thank you for.
And I'm glad I got to be
Lacy,
here.
thank you so much for helping.
I'm really proud to be part of it.
Makes me smile.
We'll be right back.
The path to your future is only a click away. Find your wings at MCC.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our last show. It has been a wonderful ride for me. In particular, I want to thank Lacy Johnson and Dusty Culpepper for coming on and showing us how it was done. In addition, I'd like to thank our student producer, Atoria Crowell, our executive producers, Matt Milner and Tanisha Clark, and our media mogul, Josh Taylor. Thank you so much for letting me come into your home, and I'll see you when I see you.